The Bearcat football team is coming off of its most successful season yet since the return of the program. I got the chance to speak with head coach Bob Colbert to get his thoughts on how he plans to follow up on last season's performance. Would you mind telling me a little bit about your main goals you have for this season?
Well, I think our main goal is to continue to improve. Our goal is always to win the President's Athletic Conference Championship, and that hasn't changed since we really started the program. So improvement, and that improvement should put us in the race for the conference championship and advance to the NCAA playoffs.
Who would you say are your top returners for this upcoming season, and why?
Well, on offense, up front, Darius McGee as a sophomore was a first-team all-conference player, and he'll be returning at the tackle position. And then on the wide receiver spots, we have Ricky Douglas, who had a nice year for us last year. Andre Rogers, I think, will develop into one of the better wide receivers. He finished strong last year. And offensively in the backfield, too, Huey Erhardt will continue to play well. Huey had the best average per carry in the league last year. He averaged 6.4 a carry, yet he only had 130 carries. So I expect Huey to be one of the leaders in the league. On defense, we have to replace a lot of tackles in that we graduated Anthony Johnson, who led the league in tackles, and Armando Fortunato, I believe, finished about 7th. That's a lot of tackles we have to replace. And I'm expecting our secondary to be pretty good in that Danny Workowski and Darius McGee each had 5 interceptions. We led the league in interceptions last year. So I'm expecting those players to continue to develop and be the natural statistic leaders, if you like, on our team and help us to get to that conference championship.
What about new recruits coming up?
I don't like to talk names because you never know in Division III. You don't know enough about the players. So we think we have some good players, but in Division III, honestly, they could not even show up. It's the way Division III works. So I don't like to talk about individuals, but I think that we did recruit some players that are going to have a chance to step in, just like Darius McGee or Darius Brown did last year, and have a lot of playing time.
What about strengths and weaknesses for this coming season? What do you have to say about this?
I think our strengths are going to be in the receiver position. I think we're good there, as good as anybody in the league. I think that the running back position is as good as anybody in the league, and I think our secondary can be very good, starting with Danny Workowski and Darius Brown. I think that those are the strengths. Weaknesses, but I don't know if it's a weakness, but it's unknown. Quarterback position, because we have to replace the 2-time all-conference player, and then we have to replace 4 out of the 5 starting offensive linemen, and that's, I don't know if it's a weakness, it's an unknown. And again, on the defense, replacing Anthony Johnson and Armando Fortunato and Dave Ribeiro. Those guys made a lot of tackles and a lot of big plays last year, so we have to, again, I don't know if it's a weakness yet, it's just an unknown.
What do you feel is the most important thing that you can teach your athletes?
We try. I think my role as a coach goes beyond just the field, and I honestly believe that my role is to teach them responsibility, to teach them accountability for their actions on and off the field, and to help them mature as a young man. I've seen some great changes in players coming in here in my 6 years here now who came in as immature, young high school graduates, and turn into men. And I see that as my role as a Division III football coach, where, yes, we have to win games, but I think that we also have to play a major part in these players' lives.
As a whole, what are you expecting the most out of this coming season?
I'm expecting improvement. I don't want to take a step backwards, and I think that everybody would expect that we continue to improve and not take a step backwards. So if you're asking me what I expect us to continue to improve, and I expect us to learn how to win. That's what we had to teach our players, because there was no tradition here in terms of recent history. Yes, they won a long time ago, but nobody remembered that. So we were trying to teach them how to win, and that's always a challenge, is to teach an attitude and to build an attitude and an environment of winning football games.
All right, well, thank you for your time. We wish you the best of luck this season.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
For SVC-TV, I'm Krissy Mazzenga.